Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan Klein. I'm a former fifth grade teacher and education advocate from California. I'm also married to a career teacher, and I'm a parent. So in our house, we are living the overwhelm of 2020's fire, smoke, and pandemic, along with educators and school communities across the country. The most important message I have to deliver today is that the things we care about, student health, safety, and learning, and educational equity, are being undermined in fundamental ways by climate change. So rebuilding our schools in the wake of COVID, and rebuilding the Department of Education in the wake of the previous administration, is an opportunity to provide leadership and guidance that supports students and educators beyond this pandemic moment and fiscal crisis for schools. The opportunity for this transition team is to make sure the Department of Education and the broader K-12 community are not just at the table, but are in fact leading on climate and equity as we support our schools to reopen and recover from COVID. So what would leading look like? First, we need to embrace our responsibility to prepare young people around the technologies and science needed to shape a healthy, sustainable, and more equitable future. If America is going to make the transition to clean energy, our children are going to learn how in our public schools. Second, we need to address the dismal state of our facilities. But just like we can't go back to a world without broadband, we can't rebuild schools in ways that aren't climate friendly. K-12 spends $8 billion a year on utilities for 7.5 billion square feet of buildings with emissions that equate to 18 coal-fired power plants. And we have the largest fleet of public transportation with nearly 500,000 largely diesel buses. Ignoring climate in our schools will cost more money, decrease resilience, add to our public health problems, and widen inequities. And being smart on climate isn't another job for the K-12 sector. It's about leveraging the technology, the financing, and clean energy expertise that exists to improve our public schools. The good news is that there are great models, proof points, and work underway in diverse states and geographies. The coalition to get this done exists and is growing, and leadership signals from the new secretary and this administration will energize this coalition. There is much that can get done through leadership and authorities that already exist. We have a couple specific examples in our materials, including naming climate as a priority area for the department and creating a new position reporting directly to the secretary with a mandate to lead and coordinate the department's climate work. There is even more that can be done by ensuring that legislation on infrastructure, national service, workforce development, and CTE is climate aware at the least, and even better, climate ambitious to make the most of the moment. Consider the $82 billion in this week's stimulus to help schools and colleges recover from COVID and address concerns about indoor air quality. Without good guidance, schools are at risk of using these funds to purchase new HVAC systems that continue to rely on fossil fuels, rather than capitalize on the opportunity to transition to new clean and renewable technology. From a climate perspective, this is the equivalent of buying an old-style box TV in a world where flat-screen technology exists. We need to build back better, not build back the same. Our team is also developing a signature equity and climate resilience-focused program for ED that could be included in the President-elect's first budget proposal. I'm going to share 3 links in the chat. A 2-pager with our summary recommendations, a longer document with more details and context on each recommendation, and a copy of my prepared comments today. And I want to leave you with 3 core ideas. First, across the country, student health, safety, and learning and educational equity are being undermined in fundamental ways by the impacts of climate change. Second, our K-12 sector has a powerful role to play in the Biden administration's broader response to climate change. This is an essential opportunity and legacy issue for President Biden and the next secretary. And third, we're ready, along with a growing coalition, to roll up our sleeves and help you move these issues to support students and schools across the country. Thank you so much.